Good morning.
All right, good morning, everybody. Going on your gratitude walk. So yesterday, I was super excited to share that I had met this great lady, and she was telling me all about her gratitude walk and what she does. And so I wanted to let everybody know that this gratitude walk that I've been doing is really great. She just puts her headphones in and she just takes a little walk and thinks about all the things that she's grateful for. So I love that, and I found that online, and I thought, well, it must be, if it's online and somebody's already done a little post on it, it must be something that people like doing. So there you go. So I am in charge of my own destiny. So we talked a little bit yesterday about this book that I've been reading, and one of the things that seems to be the running theme in a lot of books that I've been reading and a lot of people that I've been listening to, and certainly my daughter, who is actually studying all of this and mindfulness and things like that, is that affirmations really do work. And the reality of an affirmation is that if you're going to do an affirmation, you've got to really believe in what you're talking about and what you're saying. And so, I remember a couple of years ago when Dale Munger was running to 5-star, and he told me that he put Post-it notes all over his house. And I actually went to his house with Robert to kind of go over our organization a couple of years ago and learn some stuff. And I remember walking in and seeing Post-it notes everywhere all over his house, even in the bathroom, like everywhere, on his refrigerator, on his fireplace, on the walls. And he just had affirmations surrounding him and his family. And I remember thinking at the time, first of all, really? I mean, does that really work? Is that really something that is valid, And of course, he hit his goal. He hit his goal that month. And, and I, even at that point when he hit his goal, I didn't really fully grasp the power of what he had done and accomplished by really surrounding himself with those affirmations. And then I remember whenever I see Mark Mishu on stage at one of the Nerium conferences, he always ends his talk with doing affirmations. And everybody gets up and, starts screaming their affirmations and the ones that he has sort of laid out for everybody. And, sitting in that auditorium, is awesome, and I love it. But I even remember thinking, is this real? Does this really work, that we're all here going kind of rah-rah, and screaming out, I am awesome, but in the moment, it's great. I felt energized and excited. I'm a champion. I'm the best. I attract amazing people, all of those things. So over my journey of Nerium, although I've done the affirmations and kind of walked through them, I don't know if I fully grasped the power of what an affirmation can really do for you. And so I wanted to spend a little bit of time on that, because it has to have something to it. If everybody, Deepak Chopra, Shawn Achor, everybody that I read and that I've read over the years has always had gratitude and affirmations running through. So I really, really encourage all of us as a mastermind to grasp this and really believe in what we're saying, about what we're saying to other people, what we're saying to ourselves. David Byrd even talks about that, what you broadcast, even if you broadcast it to your best friend and you don't broadcast it to anybody else, it's still in your head. So really keep in mind what you're broadcasting and what is surrounding you. So I'm in charge of my own destiny, creating several affirmations on Post-it notes all over your home, your office, your car, and state the 5 things you're grateful for daily. And it's simple to do that, you guys. It's really simple to do that. So yesterday I shared with you this card that I'm carrying around with me. Each and every day, someone somewhere needs my services. My job is to find that one person. I talked about the story of the guy that we met, who said, what was the tipping point of my business? It was one person. Virtually one person changed my whole life. And, I'm asking that question now more and more to people that I meet. Yesterday I was talking to somebody, I was out and about, and I was asking, what would you think the one thing was that changed the direction of your life. And typically it's one event, one person, something happened in the, in the journey along the way. And there are maybe lots of different tipping points in people's life where something changes and you expand on it, because we all go through our challenges and we think at times, oh my gosh, when is this going to change? Or when am I going to change? Or how is this going to be? But, you have to be open to it. And so that's what I'm working on. The other thing that runs rapid through most books that I read, almost every single book that I read, is what's your why? And I know that in Nerium, one of the main things when you go to a training for Nerium and when you help train other people, the first thing that Nerium asks you to do really is to sit down and identify the new brand partner's why, which reminds you of your own why. And one of the most powerful things in business is, and we take it for granted, we don't even remember that it's part of it, but it's our why. So some of you are on your way to work this morning. You have to be there at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So you're on this Zoom every day or whenever you can make it on this Zoom, and you show up to your job every day. There's got to be a reason why. Typically it's financial. I have a certain responsibility in my life that I have to make a certain amount of money in order to provide for my family, in order to provide for a lifestyle that that I want. That's my why. It's a survival why. You have to have it. Then there's lots of different whys on why you would want to take maybe a second job. Maybe you want a little bit more in your life. Maybe you need to get through, you want to save for a great vacation. Maybe you have bills that you need to pay. Maybe you have debt you want to do. Maybe you've got commitments that you have. So a lot of times our why for what we do becomes very financial oriented, and that's what we think about. But the reality of our why is it's really what makes us do the things that we want to do, keeps us in the game, as strong as your why is. And I think I've shared before that, when I invested in my talent agency, when I decided I wanted to open up that business, I spent, quite a bit of money in the, close to $100,000. And I didn't even blink twice. It didn't even, I took that money easily in my head and I thought, I know exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know exactly why I know I'm going to succeed. I know exactly what I have to do that. And I didn't even question $100,000. So I think that, your why is one of the most powerful things that you can do. So when you're talking to people in your life about what they're doing in their life and how they're doing it, really discussing somebody's why reminds you not only of your own why, but you really can go deep into somebody's life and figure out why they do the things they're doing and why they would even want to perhaps start a business with you, or maybe why they're looking for something else in their life. And of course, you never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. So sometimes we get started in things and we think, I got started for one reason, but wow, I'm so happy that I did because this just happened and I need this. And one of the things we talked about yesterday that I was reading about is, how we kind of take for granted some of the things in our life that are so important, like the associations that we have, like coming together as a group, like, the things that keep us strong, the things that are surrounding us when times are difficult and when we're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know, what I'm going to do, and you don't even realize how protected you are in a situation when you have, done the steps to either save money or maybe have a second, part-time business that you're building residual income that somehow came in handy when you least expected it. So all of these things that we're doing and we're working towards have a purpose and they have a reason. And that's why it's very important that we remind ourselves why. That we remind ourselves why we started with Nerium and why we want to help get somebody started. I talked to somebody yesterday about vision and, your belief in your vision is incredibly important, but your vision helps you with your belief. So there, two of them are very intertwined. And part of that belief is obviously you've got to keep working on yourself, to believe in yourself, to have the strength to be able to keep strong, to do the things, to be able to create that why. It all sort of comes into play. Layla's crying. Layla, just a minute. So my feeling is that for all of us, we need to continually work on ourselves and on our why, and wanting to redefine that on a regular basis. Really look at that, and look at that with the people that you're working with. Remind them why they got started with you, what they wanted to do. How, it's never easy. It's never easy, but it is worthwhile. It's definitely worthwhile when you come down to it. So one of the things that, I've really researched and really looked at is connecting people. My whole career as a talent agent was connecting people, but then I realized in every single business, if you're a good connector, things happen for you too. Being a good connector, a referral giver, somebody that, is constantly trying to help people connect with other people, is always comes back and helps you, because eventually people connect you with the right people and you can meet that right person. They may not be the person that's going to change your life, but they might be the person that connects you to that person. And so you want to be able to learn how to be a good connector. If you don't think you're a good connector, there's a way of learning how to be a good connector. And everything that we do, we can help each other become those things, okay? So in the book that I read, it was talking about how do you get referrals? How do you get people to want to connect with you? And basically, the story was you need to, consciously give out 100 referrals to get 50 referrals. So could you imagine whoever you're talking to, however you're getting to know them and build a relationship, you're finding out what their needs are, what they're looking for in their life. So it can be as simple as when you're talking to somebody, and it's interesting because we do it so organically and we don't even realize it, but you should write it down. Write it down when you're sitting with somebody and you're talking to them, and invariably it happens. It happened to me over vacation and I don't live on Maui, so I couldn't really participate, but somebody walked up and they looked at everybody there that was playing, and they're like, I just had a issue with my electricity in my house, and I just bought this condo. Does anyone know of an electrician? And, the other two people that lived on the island, they were both like, oh, I know an electrician. I know an electrician. And they both gave her numbers of an electrician. You see it also on Facebook sometimes where somebody will say, hey, I'm looking for, a great travel agent, or I'm looking for, something. And people willingly, happily give their referrals out to everybody, because everyone has a guy, everyone has a girl, everyone has a person, nail person, eyelash person, realtor, lender, somebody who is a dog groomer. There's a million things that we refer very organically. And so in order for you to become the person that people want to refer people to, you have to be a good connector. You have to get good at connecting people with other people and listening to what they need, because eventually you're going to be on their list as a connector. Oh, by the way, I was at a party the other night and my friend was telling me that she was looking for a business. She was looking for a home-based business. I thought of you. And I thought maybe I should get you guys together. I mean, that's what you want to have happen. You want to be referred to your people. You want people to be thinking of you. So you have to become a great connector as well. And by doing that, people will start thinking of you. So thinking like a top producer, I don't know how many times it's ever happened, but it has happened where I think to myself, wow, I should be, a 5-star national marketing director, or I should be the most successful person in the room, or I should have this, or I should do that. And there's a reason why certain people achieve certain things at a time. Sometimes it's just pure luck. Sometimes it's, a lot of time put into a situation and then maybe a little bit of luck. Sometimes it's just pure determination. And, I remember 25 years ago when Robert and I went to one of the first, seminars, business seminars we ever went to, and the speaker basically said, look, I'm going to share with you every single thing that I do as $1 million producer. And 25 years ago, to be making over $1 million a year in the mortgage business was significant. And we wanted to be one of those people. We wanted to be a top producer. We wanted to know what was the secret. And I remember him saying, I'm going to share with you every single thing I do as a top producer in the business to create this kind of, wealth and this kind of business. Okay. And he did. He shared everything. And at the end of this breakout session that we did with him, he said, now, I just want you guys to know, because I raised my hand and I said, why do you feel compelled to give us all your secrets? I mean, I know we don't live in your area, but why are you sharing all of your information that's gotten to you to be a top producer? Why are you giving that away for free? And he said, I'm giving it to you because, number one, I feel like it's a way for me to give back. But he said, statistically, there's only going to be 1% of you in the room that's going to implement anything that I've told you today. And think about that. He gave every single thing that he ever did to be successful, and everybody in the room wanted to be $1 million producer. But he said, statistically, you're going to go home and only 1% of you are going to even take any of the things that I've given you here today and actually implement something. So that's a pretty bold, statement to make. And I looked at Robert, I said, that's not going to be us. And that's when we went back to our room and we put all of these ideas on a index card, and we picked the top 3 things in our life that we thought were the most important things to implement right away. And we drove that implementation into our business. And that first year, it was a struggle, but we started to implement the most important things. So top producers know their why. They know what they want to do that keeps them motivated, keeps them focused. They know how to implement the plan. And so when Jeff Olson says successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do, that's an absolutely correct statement. When I want something, I'm willing to get up early, and I'm willing to go to bed late, and I'm willing to do the tasks at hand when I really want something. When I first got started with Miriam, I wanted that car. My why wasn't really about a lot of things that is my why today. My why was very superficial. Oh my gosh, you can get a car here? Oh, that's a good, fun thing to do. I'm going to get a car. I'm going to show everybody that I can get a car. And I went out and I got a car. I got a car fast. Now, I had to learn how to maintain that car and get that car again and again and again. But boy, I was motivated. I implemented a lot of things. I was ready. I wanted to make it happen. Okay, so, top producers, they goal set. They're very persistent. They are drivers. A lot of times if you get on the corporate call, you'll hear Mark Smith talk about driving the drivers. Top producers do that. They drive their team. They drive the correct activities. So when we talk on this mastermind about what we do, it's pretty simple what we do. There's not a whole lot to what we do. We just got to do it. And that's the implementation is really the factor here in everything that we do, no matter what it is. And think about it. Think about the things that you really want to have happen. If you wanted to go on a European vacation next year and it meant the world to you to make that happen, you would figure out what you needed to put away on a monthly basis to be able to achieve that goal. And you'd make it happen if you really wanted to. You would. I know you would. I know each and every one of you on here would. Okay? And there would be specific things that you would have to do. Maybe it would mean you had to work overtime in your job a couple of hours a week or 5 hours a week, or maybe it would mean that you had to stop going to Starbucks every day, or whatever it is, you would figure it out and you would make it happen. So top producers do that. They save and they invest. They invest wisely. Yesterday we talked about investment. It's not so much in your money that you want to invest. You want to invest in your relationships. That's how you become a great connector. Because when you invest in your relationships invest back. Knowledgeable. Be a student of the business. Be a student of what you're doing. Learn better. That's what we do here. 15, 20 minutes a day. We're doing personal development, learning how to be better. And by the way, everything we learn here, everything I've learned from all of you, everything we discuss is stuff that it definitely, you know, it goes into our Nurium business, but my goodness, it goes into everything we do. Everything that we do. It makes us better people. It makes us better in our job. It makes us better parents. It makes us better friends. All of that stuff. Positivity. Well, we already know the proof is in the pudding on positivity, right? The biggest corporations in the world. I just got off the phone with my daughter last night. She's been in Washington, D.C. She's been interviewing for an internship with people from all over, you know, the federal level in the federal government, okay, because she went to Washington, D.C. to talk about what she was learning and what she was doing. And part of her innovation is positivity, right? Well, she got an offer already. She's gotten a couple of offers, but one in particular, the Department of Energy. The Department of Energy wants to bring in ways to make their employees on a federal level across the United States to bring in positivity. So if the world is going in that direction, there's got to be something to it. There's got to be something to it. So you want to be positive. You want to have confidence. The only way to have confidence is to learn your craft and know what you're doing. That's why we show up together, because we want to learn from each other. We want to get organized. If we're not organized, that's why we have a David Bird planner. If you don't have a David Bird planner and you're not into that system, find a system that you're into. That's a really good system. But if you don't like that system, find a good system that you like. Communication skills. A lot of people say, well, I'm shy. You know, it's hard for me to talk to people. I'm not really good at it. I couldn't get up in front of a room. I couldn't speak. You know, none of us can speak when we start. None of us can get up in front of a room. None of us can do this. I couldn't do this 5 years ago. There's no possible way. What happens is you learn how to communicate better because you're learning a skill set. And if you're not a good communicator right now, become one. That's what a top producer does. They implement what they need to do to become better. Okay? And you work hard and you work smart. So most people that are successful are people that have a work ethic, that they are determined to make something happen and they're going to figure out how to do it. One of the greatest parts about coming together with all of you is the energy that you get from being together. We start our day, you know, with tools. Now, does everybody implement everything that they learn on a daily basis here? No, but we get the information and eventually it kicks in. Eventually, if we do it over and over and over again, it kicks in. So that brings me to today. Today is the 23rd of the month. Every single month on the 23rd is inventory day with Nurium. That's when all of the auto deliveries that you've had in the past, everybody on your team, all of your customers that are your past clients, have all, if they're getting an auto delivery, it will have shipped on the 23rd. So you wake up with a little bit, maybe more volume. You wake up to see who is getting an auto delivery, who isn't getting an auto delivery, and you take inventory. And so I've given you this list before, but I'm going to keep it up here. You can take a screenshot of it. We'll put it on the page. But these are just things that you can basically do. And there's a lot of money that sits on the table on the 23rd when you look at your organization. You know, this morning, Robin had mapped out her entire organization and she, you know, screenshotted it to me so I could take a look at it. And she said, Annie, there's a lot of money sitting on the table here. Yeah, on the 23rd is the day where you can look at your organization. If you can't look at it this morning, when you get home tonight, take a look at it. Look at these things. Make sure everybody on your team has an active ADO. Sometimes people don't know. Sometimes their credit card didn't go through. Sometimes for whatever reason, they could have gone into their ADO and changed something and it didn't save. There's lots of reasons. So you want to go into your organization and find out. And if your organization is too big for you to look at, let your sponsor help you or take it leg by leg. Or take it, you know, leader by leader and go in there and look at it with the person, okay? But you really want to know who in your organization needs an ADO. And then you want to look at your new starts on your entire team. So if if you had one new start last month, you want 2 new starts this month. If you want to do better. Okay, the idea is that if you have, 5 new starts last month, you want 10 new starts this month. The idea is we want to duplicate. We want to help people get their 3. Ideally, if you want to get your team moving, you're helping your new starts from last month to get Fast Start qualified. right? You're getting them paid back, you're getting them promoted, and you're getting new people on your team. Remember, this whole entire business, but not just Miriam, the entire world is about new business. Everybody needs new business. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Everybody needs new business. Look at your fast start percentage. So if you go into your business overview, you can look at your business today and you can see where you're at. You can see where you were at last month and the month before. And you look at that and you really try. Your goal is you want to get 20% better. You know, go for the realistic goal. Okay, go to the people that are brand new, see if they're interested in getting 1 or 2 of their brand partners this month. We've got 10 days left. We got a long month. We got a lot of magic is going to happen this month. Okay, you got a way to look now at your business and say, okay, I know exactly where my business is and I know where I want to go and how I'm going to get there. Help everybody on your team get 3 or free qualified. Who doesn't want free product? Now we've got Youth Factor next month where everybody can change their ADOs whenever they want and decide, oh, I'd like to have the Youth Factor for a while, or I'd like to have Youth Factor and my skincare, right? So the more that they get in an ADO, if you can build up to $270 a month in an ADO, you can get a lot of free product. And really, you want to help people do that. Why not take and leverage that? Leverage the free product, right? So you get 9 customers, you're at the highest commission, and you're getting a whole bunch of free product. Go line by line in your organization to review what your brand partner needs. Sometimes your brand partners that are new, they're not really sure. Sometimes you can call them up and say, hey, I noticed that you need 1 bottle, one $90 ADO for you to become a senior brand partner. And I know there's people on this Zoom that have people like that. So you got to look at it to be able to help them. You want to achieve what they want to achieve, not what you want to achieve, right? So don't go at people wanting to say, well, I need to get to where I need to go, so that's why I'm helping you. Help people organically where they want to go, and you will get to where you want to be, believe me. The Nurium Lifestyle Club is a great indicator, right? Because you're doing the activities. So there's a list you can go on in your reports, and it says Nurium Lifestyle Club, and it basically tells, I know right now, I've looked at it already, I know there's a bunch of people with 4 points on my team that are 1 point away from becoming Nurium Lifestyle qualified. Okay, maybe that's where I'll start today. Maybe I'm just going to call people today that I know that are 1 point away. Why not? Or maybe I know that there's a list also of brand partners that, you know, hey, there's a watch we can earn this month. If you get 2 new brand partners, not only do you get a watch, but those people that start this month get a free ticket to the conference. How many people do you want to go to the conference? There's a lot of ways that you can have some fun and make some stuff happen, magic happen. And you want to ask everybody, has everyone on your team ordered Youth Factor? There's so many people that I've noticed haven't even tried our product. It's so good. I mean, the stories are so crazy already in just a couple of weeks. So I know that was a long Zoom for everybody, and but I had a lot to say to you guys because Inventory Day is important. It's important for us to really look at our business to see where we're at, and it doesn't take hours on end. It just takes a few minutes, and you can work with your sponsor, and you can make a list of who you need to call, and we can all help each other do it. So with that, you guys, I just want to say, I certainly open it up if anyone has any questions or comments, but today's a really good day. It's Tuesday, and there's a lot of excitement and stuff that we can make happen, and now's the time to do it. So there you have it. That's my talk for today.
Thank you, Annie. That's awesome.
Thanks, Annie.
Thank you, Annie. That was perfect.
Okay,
Thanks, Annie.
Thank you.
have a blast.
Thank you.
Annie, that was cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Annie.